Beware of practicing your piety before others in order to be seen by them, for then you have no reward from your Father in heaven. Already I'm seeing problems. Immediately after this sermon, everyone will be invited to come forward and receive the imposition of ashes, 2 black smudges on the forehead in the shape of a cross. Contrary to the beliefs of some, there are no actual rules about this sign. It's not a sacrament. You don't have to be ordained to give it. You don't have to be baptized to receive it. And you're more than welcome to wear it around all day or all night, as the case may be. Or you can clean it off as soon as you get to your car. As you're probably aware, the general custom is to keep the ashes on the forehead throughout the day, or at least until it becomes smeared beyond all recognition, as a sign of faith, as a testimony to whomever we encounter, to our commitment to observe the penitential season of Lent with discipline and, well, piety. And therein lies the rub. Immediately after we read Jesus' words instructing us to beware of practicing our piety before others in order to be seen by them, we go right out and practice our piety before others in order to be seen by them. Maybe. I've heard priests and professors object to the imposition of ashes for this very reason, and of course many others who approve of it wholeheartedly. So, let's examine this a little more closely. Surely when Jesus gives this instruction, he's not telling us to be secret Christians, reserving all our expressions of faith for private settings only. Every church would need an underground garage with a rear entrance, like a mafia hideout, or to be fronted with some manner of legitimate business, like a Prohibition-era speakeasy. We would need all kinds of passwords and coded language and secret handshakes to make sure that our actual faith identity was never discovered by the general public. Although some would argue that with Episcopalians like us, that's already the case. We have all kinds of coded language and secret handshakes to make sure nobody ever figures us out, but we'll put that aside. And we can joke about this, but I need to take a moment to recognize that in some societies, in some corners of the world, these things really are necessary. And it's important to note how many Christians around the globe are severely persecuted and have to operate in the shadows just in order to survive. And we should also keep them consistently in our prayers. But if we really want to know what Jesus means by his words, often the only solution is to look at what he did, how he lived. Yes, Jesus frequently climbed a mountain or retreated to a lonely place to pray to the Father. And this is consistent with his teaching in the same passage, that personal prayer should take place in a private setting. But of course, corporate prayer, liturgical prayer, congregational worship, those are not personal and private, but an expression of communal faith and a function of our membership in a worshiping community. This is how I see that cross of ashes. Now, you are more than welcome to see it in a different way, and I'd probably mostly agree with you. But for me, this tradition is not an expression of personal piety, but rather a mark of belonging. And because it is open to all, it can serve not only as a mark of belonging, but as an invitation into belonging as well. But it doesn't do that all by itself. That reality, that purpose, is not just up to me or Dean Andy or Robin or Curtis or anyone up here or anyone back there. It's up to you, and it's up to all of us, to each of us, the wearer of that cross. As you may know, the season of Lent is a time of introspection, a time of accountability for the choices we make. It is not a time of despair or of self-flagellation, but rather an opportunity to imagine a better life for ourselves and for others, and map out a way to get there through prayer and through reflection. And Ash Wednesday serves as the opening salvo for this. So as we gather and as we disperse today, let us begin with a pact of sorts, a promise to God and to each other that we will carry this cross not only as a personal statement of faith, but as an invitation into the abundant grace of God and the abundant life of Christ. I, for one, can't imagine a heavenly reward that's greater than this. Amen.